Breaking news, this just in from the Capitol. Once again, our nation is under attack. The nation's capital was under attack yesterday by a man named Noah Green, a black supremacist who follows Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, a black supremacist organization. The details? Well, let me tell you what happened. This insurgent, this domestic terrorist, drove his car through human beings, drove his car into a Capitol police officer, taking his life. That is terrorism. He did it in the name of the Nation of Islam and black supremacy. This fits inside the box of domestic terrorism. We must do everything we can to stop this fight against America. If we look back, I don't know, let's say 12 months, even though we don't need to go back 12 months, we could really go back 10. At the amount of damage caused by supremacy in this nation and the divide in this nation, billions of dollars of damage have been done. It's actually more than billions. It's billions of dollars. It's billion dollars. If you speak Joe Bidenese. Billion dollars. Because billions is all the insurance companies covered. Anywhere from 27 to 30 people died as a result of BLM and Antifa. Both organizations are domestic terrorist organizations and black supremacists. Their underlying motivation is anti-white, which makes them racist. Any anti-fill-in-the-blank color makes you a racist. The Nation of Islam, Farrakhan, look him up. He's still allowed to tweet, by the way. However, other people aren't. Probably can't even say their name now, or else the video would be banned. But more importantly, the nation is under attack. The Capitol is under attack as insurgents attempted to bum rush the Capitol. However, this fool, Noah Green, didn't get the memo. Congress was not in session. He should have checked that. Because as a result, his message was not heard loud and clear. However, the message of black supremacy has to be heard and has to be dealt with. We need to focus from white supremacy, because look at how much damage white supremacists have done. Let's go back 12 months. No, you can't count that, because there were more BLM and Antifa people at that incident than there were white supremacists. You don't believe me? I don't care. You can check it out yourself. You don't have to believe me. You can actually search and see how many white supremacists were arrested if you want to know the facts. Otherwise, you could put your head back in the sand where it was and continue to ignore the fact that we have a Marxist group that is trying to destroy the nation from within. They're trying to turn everyone against each other. And we're not going to let that happen, because that's not what we're all about. I mean, think about it. Answer this. How many black people do you know? How many white people do you know? How many Hispanic people? How many Asian? How many people, fill in the blank, do you know? How many do you hate because of the color of their skin? None. Zero. Because that's not the way we work. The people that do answer that question in the affirmative, they're a very, very small number of people. They're like, if you had a golf course full of grass and you had one bad batch of grass in there, you're not going to blame the whole golf course for being bad. The whole golf course is bad because it's a little patch of grass. That's how many people we have, and that's how many bad people we have. However, what's going on is, and you don't have to believe me on this either, you can check it. There was a guy on Dan Bongino who years ago a defected KGB operative who was describing how they would destroy America, and they would let America destroy itself from within. They would plant the seeds and let it destroy itself from within. And that's what's going on, because we don't hate each other. We don't think the rest of the world is racist. We don't think the rest of the nation is racist. There's just a few people with a megaphone saying that to destroy us, so that when we look that way, China comes from over there and takes us over. We can't let that happen. Guys, we don't hate each other. The people that are telling us that, that's who we hate. And do you know why they're telling us that? Because there is a huge class divide in this nation. There are a lot of haves, there are a lot of have-nots and a few haves. And the few haves have the megaphone, and they're telling you, they're telling me, they're telling him, they're telling her that we're all racist, so they won't look at them while they take our money. That's what's going on. As long as they have us fighting from within, they can do whatever they want to us, because the red herring of us racism that doesn't exist is keeping us from looking at what's really going on. And that's the fact that they're taking all our money and making us dependent on the government. And we don't want that, because we're not socialists. We're not communists. But they're trying to infiltrate, and we got to stop it. We got to stop it right now. Because if we don't, then your children's children won't live in America. And that'll be your fault. It will be your fault. So stop it. We don't hate each other. We're not going to let them convince each other that we hate each other. And remember, the nation is under attack. By white supremacists? No. By black supremacists, the Nation of Islam, insurgents, and domestic terrorists have caused more damage to this nation than any white supremacist group in the past 12 months that you could possibly name. Why don't you look at that? Why don't you check that out? Because that's the fact, Jack. So to recap the breaking news, the U.S. Capitol was under attack by domestic terrorists with a pure ideology of destroying the U.S. government. That was, and that will always be his agenda, to destroy the U.S. government. It was in his Twitter feed that they took down, so you couldn't see that it was black supremacy, so you couldn't see that it was domestic terrorist. They got rid of that immediately. Now here's an interesting point. When I first heard about this, immediately I knew what color he was. And you know why? Because they didn't say what color he was. It wasn't in their narrative playbook. That Marxist narrative playbook is trying to destroy this nation. But we're not going to let them, are we? We're not going to let them tell us we hate each other when we don't. Because they're doing it for power and they're doing it for money. And they're going to destroy the nation if you listen, so stop listening to that nonsense. All right? All right. Have a good day.